the doing analytics on the buy and burn. I was just doing crude math, which and I'll bring that up here in a second. If it's clicked every 8 minutes, which it's not, as you said, that's 252 ETH a day at the current burn rate, and at 252 ETH a day, there's 24 days worth of ETH in the buy and burn, assuming that no more comes in.
Exactly.
My question to you is, why not let the price fall down to the floor price instead of continuously ratcheting up the BNB? Because there's going to be a pendulum swing at some point, or maybe not. But there's going to be a pendulum swing, or there should be, based on just the mechanics of it all, that where the short-term miners will eventually, be break even or not in profit. Why not let that happen?
Because this is one of the things that had a crap ton of models on how TitanX will play out over time. It surpassed all of them. And one of the things is short-term miners, they can't hurt the price that much. Because, for example, if you do let's do an example. Let's do like 14-day miner. So if you do a 14-day miner, you pretty much break even. If you do a 20-day miner, 60%-ish. 28-day miner is like a 2x roughly. It's 127% ROI, which is 227%, as people say it on Twitter. They pay a lot more per time. So just to give an example, if you do a max length miner now, so 280 days at 100 power, you get 1.41 billion TitanX, and you spend roughly $467 in Ethereum at this price, which is, so what you do is you do 467 divided by 1.419 billion is an effective cost of 0.6032. So 6032. Remember that. So 6032. And then you have the 28-day one is 198 million. It costs the same. So 467 divided by 188 million is 5 zeros and a 2. So instead of paying 6 zeros 32, they're paying 5 zeros 23. So they're almost paying 10x more. So the fact that people and they're paying the exact same amount of Ethereum to the protocol. So they feed the staking payouts, they feed the buy and burn, but they can't hurt the price that much. So the short-term people are actually helping and feeding all the long-term people, which is very interesting. So you actually want a lot of short-term miners because it's better for the protocol and better for the chart.
Well, now that isn't the answer I expected. Okay,
Me neither. It's just something I figured out. It's great.
So we want the short-term miners, even though they're essentially selling for profit.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess one analogy you can kind of use is, let's say you're a supermarket and you can buy carrots. You can buy carrots in 2 days for $10 per carrot, or you can wait 100 days and buy your carrots for $2, so 5 times less. So one buys in 2 days, they pay $10. The other one waits 100 days, they buy it for $2. The guys that want to do quick supply flips of like the $10 carrots, they have to sell the carrots at a higher price to have like a profit margin. But then the suppliers that are willing to wait the longest, they can come in and they can basically beat out all of that competition because they have such a lower cost per carrot. So the short-term people are actually going out of business as the long-term people come in over time. It's an analogy. It's not super accurate, but it kind of.
No, I mean, it makes sense. The short-term people will go out of business because they're short-term thinkers. Essentially, they're looking for. That makes sense because they're not going to be able to keep up with the decreasing supply and increasing price. If they keep
and then the price floor.
Yeah,
exactly, and the price floor keeps moving up. There's more Ethereum, you get less TitanX, so the price floor just creeps up. And at some point, they're gonna have to be forced to go longer out. But the main idea is that short-term people can't really do much. It's all the long-term people that actually control the longevity of the project, like the actual long-term price.
Nice. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's the mechanics of it, and some of the bigger game theory people I know are just talking about that. They're hammering that point, just like long term. Because I mean, we're seeing it now. The amount of TitanX produced per day by a miner is, gosh, what, 15-20% less than it was just a month ago already, and it costs more.
Yep.
It costs more twofold because just the ETH necessary to create it is more, and then ETH itself is more.
Yep.
So you've got three factors working with each other to ratchet down the availability of TitanX in the future. That's kind of impressive.